How's it going? So my name is Colton Canava. I am the creative director and founder of Cryptid Theory. Cryptid Theory focuses on branding, design, and murals. Mostly murals. So thus far, I think 99% of what I've done has been in the mural space. I'm creating currently a project for the city of Arlington. I have a project with the city of Mansfield next. I've worked with the Arlington Museum of Art for a FIFA World Cup mural. Done several projects. My largest to date is located in Fort Worth at Trinity River Distillery, which has been seen by millions, if not billions, off of I-30 and 287 as you drive into Fort Worth. So that was pretty cool. But the past 15 years, I've spent my time in advertising as a designer, art director, creative director, working on some of the largest brands in the world, from Frito-Lay, Mobile One, Tostitos, Don Julio, Zoe, like the list goes on. And so what I'm working on in the next 12 to 18 months is transitioning from a true mural design studio into more of an experiential design studio, which includes art, which includes murals, but being able to create that at a greater scale for brands, agencies, companies, municipalities like the city of Arlington, where I can create more of an experience and not create an ad whatsoever. Maybe it's branded, not physically, but a brand sponsors something. And so I'm working on a series that I'm calling the Cryptid Theories, where I explore one brand a week, find a way to bring it to life that's completely unexpected. And that's tapping into my design agency background. So I've worked at Tracy Locke, the Energy Group, worked for some smaller shops, but again, working on some really big brands. And the thing that I've always just like gravitated towards is the quote unquote big idea. So how do you bring this project to life? For instance, when I worked on Frito-Lay, we were the official chip of the Super Bowl. And so being that we were the sponsors, so we did billboards, like literally billboard takeovers. They have a big experiential thing at the Taste of Super Bowl, or the Super Bowl experience, where they have I think they've done wedding chapels, they've done all kinds of things within the Super Bowl footprint. But for that program campaign, when I was in Phoenix, I created Super Bowl rings, 5 Super Bowl rings, working with Jostens, who's the official Super Bowl ring creator. But each of these Super Bowl rings was branded, which was really cool. I think they're each like 10 to 12 grand a piece, if not more. Real gold, real jewelry, real diamonds that were incorporated in this. And each had like a touch, a tone, a certain style to it that incorporated the brand, which was the intent. And so being able to create things like that, where it's not just a branded piece. And I really want to move away from just creating an ad, a website, even a booth that is experiential, less excited in that. I think that'll definitely be a part of what I'm creating, but I'm really interested in creating that PRable thing that gets people excited. So each week for the next 52 weeks specifically and beyond, I'm creating my Cryptid Theories, which is a series where I take a brand, tap into culture, lean on a moment, for example, July 4th, and then show essentially what I would do if I was working with this brand. Not to create an ad, not to create a promotion, not just to sell an athlete for athlete's sake, but to create a moment in culture that lives as an artifact. It might be art, it might be a mural, might be a sculpture, might be none of the above or all of the above, but just a way to kind of practice a little bit, get back into the swing of things as far as thinking from a brand lens versus just as a sole artist, muralist, which is what I am currently. But I think my superpower is going to be blending the two, where it is art, it is design, and then creating an artifact, an experience that lives above that, that's not branded. And then ideally, like, the goal is to partner with some of these brands, agencies that work with some of these brands. For instance, like Tracy Locke, where I was previously, like, we worked with Frito-Lay. That was my client. Can I work with him in the future? I know they're no longer at Tracy Locke, but is there another agency, I believe it's TMA, where they're looking for a big idea guy to come in and help amplify something? Is that where I can insert myself as Cryptid Theory and become a collaborator and a partner outside of the organization, but can come in and create something really unique, baked into culture, stands the test of time, but something that is, in my mind, like, cans worthy, the award worthy thing. Even if it's not award worthy, is it social proof to get people engaged in that brand? Maybe they're not even thinking about the brand, but something that we can, like, insert into the world and amplifies the brand without just selling something. I think that's what I've always been interested in. Now that I'm exploring my own brand, my own design studio, that's where I'd like to shift this. So with the first case study / file for Cryptid Theories, I'm going to create a video where I go into how I created a campaign for July 4th, for the 4th of July, but for the 250th anniversary of our country in Philadelphia, tapping into the World Cup, but not World Cup whatsoever. The idea is the World Cup's happening in Philadelphia, specifically the France game, and then how I decided to leverage that as that cultural nugget, cultural moment that is that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and then insert a brand without it being branded into that moment. So that's kind of just the idea of what I want to do. Working currently on week 2, so I'm a few weeks behind with the pre-launch, but thought I'd just give a taste, a preview of what I'll be launching here on YouTube, socials, LinkedIn, etc. And just give them a little bit of weight, maybe just testing what it is I'm doing by putting this on video also. But for each of these, I want to create a video case study in addition to just a blog, a post, an image that I'm capturing and creating, because I want to illustrate how I think, how I'd like to create with brands, and how I'd like to truly collaborate. So that is the Cryptid Theories, Cryptid Theories, which is a series. So something to look forward to. I'm not great at being in front of the camera, so that's something hopefully after 52 weeks I'll have mastered. So this is also practicing speaking in front of camera, practicing getting back to the practice of my big thinking, and then evolving Cryptid Theory. So hopefully this time next year, Cryptid Theory is a completely different design studio, brand, entity, and hopefully something that people want to work with. So that's the goal. That's the intent. If nothing else, gives me an opportunity to play. So that's where I'm at. Cryptid Theories.